Greetings everybody and welcome back to the Austin Lindsay channel. So GVM reached out to me to see if I wanted to test any of their gear. I've actually been wanting to use a motorized slider for quite some time now. So I had them send out this GVM-2D 2-axis carbon fiber motorized slider. So this is a little bit of information about the kit, the slider, and my opinions. So this is a 32-inch slider. The rods that the trolley slides upon are made out of carbon fiber. The trolley itself is made out of metal, as well as the ends, and so is the center base plate. The trolley motor housing, which is also the main controller unit, is made from plastic. The trolley belt is made from rubber and it has teeth to roll across the motor wheels. I should also mention that the trolley is bolted onto the belt, and the belt is wrapped around the motor in such a way that the only way to move the slider is via the motor. There's no way to quickly move back and forth by hand. The ends of the slider have adjustable feet on them for those more uneven surfaces, and there's also 3/8 and 1/4 thread inserts on the bottom and along the sides of the ends. I know that's like the worst description ever, but I'm not exactly sure how to classify these. So in the middle, there's a sort of cheese plate that is screwed to the center of the rails, and within this, there's a plethora of mounting inserts, so there's no shortage of ways to mount this GVM slider. Something I wanted to note here, the cheese plate is actually mounted to the center point of the rails themselves and not the center point of the slider as a whole when you include the motor. So it does lean a little bit to the motor side, especially when the trolley is near the motor. You can change this, but you'd have to re-drill holes yourself. You can also just mount 2 tripods or light stands to the ends to remedy to this tilt, but the slider is light enough that it can be mounted using a single tripod, so it would be nice to have it more evenly balanced while doing so, just to save the hassle with setup. Their website says this will handle 11 pounds horizontal and vertical. I haven't fully tested this, but it does seem to do really well in both axes. This 2D 2-axis kit also comes with a pan motor. This is housed in all metal and attaches to the trolley via 3/8 inch screws. On the side of the pan motor, there's an RJ45 connector and there's a 3.5 millimeter port. The RJ45 connector is for connecting the pan motor to the main controller. The 3.5 millimeter jack is for connecting the slider to the camera, and this will allow the slider to automatically trigger your camera. What's nice is this comes with a good variety of camera cables, so it's highly likely that you'll be able to find one to fit your camera right out of the box. On the top of the controller housing, there are 2 slots for batteries, and GVM also includes batteries, which is really cool of them. 2 huge bonus points for the slider in this area are: number 1, the batteries are Sony NPF batteries, which are incredibly easy to come by and very affordable. And then number 2, the batteries are hot swappable, which is fantastic when you're doing long time lapses. On the side of the controller housing is a power switch, a mains port, and a 3.5 millimeter port for controlling the camera when you're not using the pan motor. This kit also has Bluetooth, so you can use the included remote or you can use your phone. I personally like having both options because sometimes I want to film something quickly and my phone is already handy and I can just use that. And sometimes I'm using my phone for other things and I just appreciate having a dedicated controller. So more brownie points for having both options. So let me show you how to do a to B point on the slider here. So first I'm going to show you with the remote. What you'll want to do is you'll turn the slider on and then you'll turn this remote on and you'll go down to the settings and hit OK. Then you'll go to the Bluetooth settings, hit OK. You'll search for your device and you want to select the one that says GVM. In a few scenarios, I found it a little bit finicky and I've had to turn the slider and remote on and off a couple of times to get it to connect, but generally it works within the first time. So then we're going to hit OK and it'll take you back out to this menu, and that means you're connected Bluetooth, and we're going to hit escape to go to the main menu. And what I'm going to show you for setting up points works for panoramas, time-lapse, and video shots. So we're going to push the up arrow and we're going to hit OK. And you could go into manual mode and that'll allow you to just push the buttons. This is left and right and these 2 are rotate. That'll allow you to just manually move the slider, but we want to set up keyframes to automatically move from point A to point B. So we want to go down here to manual mode, we'll hit OK, and we're going to set our key and hit OK. Right now it says void because there's no keyframes. A pen point basically means we're going to add in a point. If you already have one and you want to update it, you can update the point or you can delete a point. So to do this, we hit OK. And notice we have axis 1 and everything is 0, but the slider, it's kind of blurry in the distance here, the slider is just kind of at a random spot. The 0 point is from when you turn it on. So I wish you could turn it on and allow the slider to scan and then set its own point, so that way these numbers would mean something, but as of now they really don't mean a lot. So what we're going to do is we're going to scoot the slider over to the left and just go to where it stops, and we're going to, let's rotate it a little bit. Okay, we're going to call that our point A. And to accept this, we'll just hit OK, and we want to save it, yes. Now we have our point A in here. So now we want to go to point B. We're going to hit append point. We're going to hit OK, and we're on B, and we're just going to scoot this over a little bit, and then we'll rotate it a little bit. Okay, now that we have our point B, we're going to hit OK, and we're going to save it, OK. And now we have our A and our B. And now we want to run this through the A and B points, so we'll hit escape to go back out of this menu. And what you can do is you can auto loop, so it'll just continuously go back and forth until you stop it, or auto stop, which means it'll just go back and forth one time. So what we want to do is have it go through one time, so we're going to go down here to auto stop, hit OK. Our start point A is fine. We want to go to end point, and we're going to push OK to turn it red, and we're going to hit over, and it'll select B. And then you want to hit OK instinctively, but this is kind of a weird remote. You just hit escape here, and then now you have A and B set. Push down one more time, and then just hit OK for execution. It'll slide over to the A point and then run its execution. And then once it's done, you'll go back to this main screen here. So if you're using the phone, all you got to do is open the app, click on the chain link here. It brings up GVM right off the start. You just hit connect and you're good to go. Again, you have your manual mode, which you can manually control this if you just want to follow something your own self, not set any points. If you do want to set points, you just touch the slider icon here. What we're going to do is go over, push this over arrow and add some points. So we'll just move it over to the left a little bit. And all you have to do here is just click add point. You get a warm reminder that you've got point added. And then to add another point, all you have to do is just start moving the slider. We're going to go over to the right and then hit add point, get another warm reminder. You can actually add a few more points if you wanted to. We're just going to do 2 for right now. Also, the Z-axis is if you have the kit that has the upgraded motor that has a tilt, you can adjust the camera's tilt on that, but this one does not have it. So we'll go back and you can do the auto loop, which will play through your A and B points until you tell it to stop, or we can do again auto stop, which it just does it one time. And what we're going to do is do auto stop. Once you get to this menu, you may have to select your point A or point B to load them in as your start point, or you can start with point B and go to A, whatever you choose. Once you hit execute, again, it'll go from the B to A, and that's it set up, and then it'll start recording. So if you had a camera on here starting time lapses or recording, it would not start recording until it moved to its starting point and then its ending point. So we'll hit execute. It goes to A and it's come to B and now it's stopped. So there's a little tutorial on how to use the remote and the app for setting A and B points. So overall in my testing, this is a fairly rugged and well-built slider. It is quite expensive at $500 US at the time of this recording, but it's also quite a bit cheaper, up to half and sometimes even a third the cost of other sliders with the same features. There are a few things that I feel would be nice for future updates. The first one being the centering of the middle cheese plate here with the entirety of the rail system rather than just the rails themselves. that's not really a huge make or break thing. The second thing I would like to see updated is the ability to uncouple the belt from the motor here. Maybe just a switch here that could uncouple from the trolley. And that way I could just kind of swing the thing back and forth by hand and quickly set up my shots. As of now, there's really no quick way to run through your shot. You have to just slowly move the trolley along the rails via the motor. And the third one is the noise. Let me go ahead and set this up really fast so I can get an audio sample for you. This is the sound of the slider. So this is the sound of the slider as it sits normally. So that noise isn't a huge problem if you'll mainly be using this for B-roll shots or time lapses or anything without sound. But if you're recording audio, this noise can get picked up. It has that constant staticky sound while at rest, and it's got a very audible motor sound while in motion. So that's the GVM 2-axis 2D slider. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments field. I'll do my best to answer them. And thanks everyone for watching.